Okay, so you're probably wondering what this whole flipped learning is about unless you went home and Googled it, which is essentially what I did in the summer. Well, for those of you that didn't do that, here's a brief overview. Okay, so what is the flipped classroom? It is a new approach to teaching. It identified that the time with the student that needs you the most is when they're completing their homework, when they're alone. Therefore, their homework is completed at school, and the learning is completed at home, and that's where this whole idea of flipped comes in. Instead of being at school and learning pure knowledge in a lesson and then applying it outside of the lesson, we flip it around and we do the learning at home and the application at school. So, how will it work? Basically, no written homework is completed by the student. The homework is actually to prepare for the following lesson by watching a video, making notes and completing a simple activity online to test their new knowledge. That's it. I mean, there is writing involved, they have to make notes, but they're watching this video. And the video has the learning knowledge part of it in. Definitions, and obviously with your voice recorded over the top, you can explain different things that are going on. So, what then happens is the next lesson, when they turn up after watching this video, all the activities are based on that night's video, the previous night's video. So, for example, my students will watch a video about sole traders and then they come in and they complete a lesson about sole traders, applying the knowledge that they've learnt at home. So as a teacher, you can support the application of that knowledge and their written skills and their development without worrying about spending maybe 30 plus minutes of the time standing at the front just delivering a lesson using a PowerPoint or writing on the board, where it is essentially you performing for that amount of time. Okay, so it makes better use of our time because we are then with the students. We can go round and help one-to-one, we can help clarify different bits, we can get that better understanding of where every child is in the room. It allows for better differentiation. You can, and I've done this with one topic, build up a range of activities that start off with a basic missing word activity all the way through to essay questions. With getting harder with each activity, you can differentiate that way. You can differentiate with the support that you give your students. And it also helps the students to work at a pace suitable to them. It helps personalise their learning, both at home when they can actually watch the PowerPoint and listen to your explanation in the time it actually takes them. How many times have you been doing a PowerPoint presentation and you've had to wait for those 2 or 3 students to finish copying a slide or writing something out? Now they stop, they rewind, they can go back, they can rewatch the whole video a number of times. So, what do we do to make this video? Well, you need some form of screencasting software. I'm using some at the moment. This is not just a PowerPoint. It is recording everything that happens on my desktop. So it does mean that you're not just restricted from using a PowerPoint. Now you'll have to bear with me because most of my stuff is PowerPoint at the moment. But look what else we can do. I'm going to go onto a blank slide and here comes my mouse. I'm going to change, if you've got the right hardware, to a ballpoint pen, then suddenly I can do my accounting homework directly on the page. I can do a T account, capital, put 6,000 in there, and I can do a bank account, and I can put 6,000 over there. As you can see, I've got to get used to writing in straight lines, but you can write directly onto the page. Okay, so the definition of capital is, and you can actually display things like that. Because it's recording everything that's happening, we can come out of our PowerPoint, so I'll just press the escape button and go to whatever program we want to use. So I can go to Word, I can show a worksheet I've got here. I'm scrolling through in real time, showing the students what's here. I can go onto the internet and I can actually say, right, let's go onto the business pages, and I can actually show them something if I want to show them any articles and everything on here. Obviously, you have to be careful with external websites. You have to have the copyright for a lot of what you're doing, especially if you're incorporating videos and that other people's videos into your videos. In fact, I would advise you not to do that. I would try to have as much of your own created material, which again is why I will go back to my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so once you've made that video, you just need a YouTube account. Now, you could have a personal account or you could have a shared department one. It could be, I don't know, but you might be able to upload it to the VLE as well. You upload the video, and then I use a blog to publicise that video. Now, I've not only had students from our school watching it, I've had other teachers and students wanting resources and watching it as well. So putting it onto YouTube makes it very public, which again is the copyright thing, but we can discuss that later. So if you think that this is something that you would like to experiment with, what the Teaching and Learning Group is about how to get that to work to the best of for teachers and for students at Kesgrave High School. I've been doing it with Year 10 since September when we came back. And I suppose what we want to do is to investigate how we can perhaps do it with other year groups. The educational research online has it going from primary school right through to university students, so it's not restricted just to secondary learning or for any subject. It actually started off in science. It was a chemistry teacher, professor, who in America started this idea of flipped learning, and it spread to lots and lots of subjects and lots of countries. So if you're interested and think this might be something you want to do, think that you've got the ability to make these videos, and it is relatively straightforward, I can talk you through the process, well, you know, it's one of the things we'll do, then come along to my Teaching and Learning Group. So thank you for listening.